Scott, episode 5.
Episode 5. Are you calm and collected?
Like Dylan from 90210.
Oh, shit.
Beautiful day here in Phoenix.
Great day in Phoenix. Spring day. Spring training's over. Baseball season's underway. And we're right here at Arizona Training Lab
Yes,
with
we are.
episode
5.
5.
Moving right along, season
Yeah.
2 here. Scott, people ask us questions. We have another one.
Question today comes from Mark. Mark's actually asking this question. This is an interesting side note for his girlfriend. I know you don't like me to go down the side note route, but he's asking for his girlfriend. She's concerned about becoming bulky, lifting weights. She's afraid that weights are going to make her
It's a
bulky.
common
Weight
concern.
training. Right.
A lot of, we have women here at the gym that come in.
A lot
We
of
have a
women
women's
here.
strength group that lifts a lot of weights, deadlifts, squats, bench, pull-ups, chin-ups, all that. It's a common concern. And you know what, I'm going to say this too. You have fitness experts that are out there in this world that insist that you only should lift with 3-pound weights and some other different things like that because you don't want to get too bulky. What that does then is it creates this myth that if you do lift weights, you're going to get bulky and look like a guy. And frankly, that's kind of bullshit. It's really not.
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
well, first and foremost, I think you have to break this down. Why are they saying this? They're basing that on the fact that men, when they lift weights, they get bulky.
Correct.
But first and foremost, we need to isolate why that is, and it's directly due to testosterone
Correct.
levels and the difference between testosterone levels in men versus women.
Is significantly higher in males versus females.
Right.
So males are predisposed to put on muscle more so than females.
Than females are, right?
And then on top of that, you do the progressive overload, you lift, you do all that type of stuff. You're going to have the ability that will determine how quickly you put on muscle.
Right. And you're not being sexist. This
Not
is
at
just
all.
a simple science.
Correct.
This is-
Yes, thanks for clarifying.
I just wanted to
but
point
with
it
that
out.
said then, if you were to take males and females and have them do the exact same program, which in
Right.
certain cases, it should make no difference.
Right.
Females can train exactly like males.
And they do here.
And they do here, and in other gyms they should.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be like, oh, this is a female program and this is a male program. You can technically do that, but if your goal is to actually put on muscle, and I'm going to use this term, it's like the lean look that women want. They want lean
yep,
muscle,
yep.
which is still muscle. But ultimately, in order to get that, you have to reduce your body fat and you have to have some muscle mass on your bones
Right.
to be able to have that
It's
look.
that combination, as
Yes.
we've talked about so many times,
Yes.
of diet and weight training.
Correct. So this is a good question.
It is
I
a
like
good
this
question.
one, yes.
Yeah.
So lifting weights, women should absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's correct ways or better ways to lift weights than other, poorer methods, I guess you could say. So there still gets to be a good and a bad way. So if you're going to haphazardly lift weights, you might be better off not doing that. But if you
Yeah.
know what you're doing, or you have a good trainer or
Form
coach, that's form's going
is
to be important.
important, yeah.
Progressing on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis is also important as well. So if you're really striving for some of like that fitness model type look, you're going to have to lift weights. All those girls are lifting weights.
Yeah.
And they don't look. If you were to see them in person, they don't look big and
they
bulky.
don't. They
It's
don't.
the lighting, cameras, dieting, super lean.
So
and
we
all that.
see some of that, though.
Totally.
We've seen women who are bulked up.
Yes,
Okay, how do they get there?
they're doing steroids.
That's important to
100%.
point out. Now,
or testosterone.
Yeah. So that is a really, really important fact that you need to put out there. I think we need to put out there to dispel this myth,
Right.
dispense with this myth.
When you see, and I'm not by any means calling anyone out, but
No,
when you
it's-
see a female that looks big, even my
And the same
size,
is true for men.
For men
who are
too.
really big. Yeah.
they are more likely than not, in fact they are, taking something extracurricular to allow them to get that look.
Extracurricular.
It's not really in the program, but they are. So that then gives us this preconceived idea that, holy cow, they lift weights if we lift weights, or if you're
Right.
female, if you lift weights, and you're going to look like that, when in reality, it's not really going to, it's not going to happen at all unless
Right.
you're taking, steroids or testosterone.
Yeah.
So that's the deception that the fitness industry can portray.
Yeah.
You know, that's the hard part. Like you take these physique shows or figure shows or bodybuilding shows, they aren't testing for any of that stuff. That stuff's totally fine for them to be able to take
It's
it.
part of the program.
It's part of
Part
the
of the deal.
process, the industry, the lifestyle's part of it.
Right.
So it gives the general population kind of a skewed viewpoint of it.
Yeah.
And that becomes, that becomes kind of the mainstream, and that creates that notion that if you lift,
That's gonna, that everyone's gonna respond
and that's too
that
bad.
way.
Like I
It is
really
too
think
bad.
it is. Like
Yeah.
it's not good. So if you are a female watching this, absolutely lift weights. You know, do it in a safe and effective way. Find a good trainer or coach to help you with that, and your results are going to happen a little bit quicker.
And here's another thing. If you're of that mindset where you think that you're going to get bulky and you haven't tried this, just try it for 6 or 7 months. And then if you don't like the result, you can change at that point.
Absolutely.
But don't, decide that you're not going to do it because that's the result you
Or
think you're going to
don't
get. Or don't
have that fear of doing it because you're going to get too bulky.
Right.
So that fear prevents people from actually doing it, and it's probably more aligned with the results that you are hoping for, the lifting weights, but you're fearing, doing it. So
Right.
it's going to stop you from actually getting the results that you're hoping for. So good question.
That is a great
I like it.
question.
So hopefully
Yeah.
that answered it. Once again, if you guys have questions, feel free to drop a line on Facebook,
And Twitter,
Instagram,
and what is the other one?
Snapchat, and then you can also leave a question here on YouTube
Yeah, an extracurricular activity for you all.
to do that.
Yeah, to
All
put
right.
the questions in the
Thanks.
box.
Thanks for watching.
Dave, you're calm and collected. Like sometimes I don't even know if you have a pulse.
That's calm and that's collected.
It's calm. I don't know if it's collected.